Before we get into the video, this is a major spoiler warning for Creed 2. So if you haven't seen the movie, I do recommend that you go check it out, and then once you do, come back and watch this video. If you're not going to watch it, then it doesn't really matter that I'm going to spoil it for you anyway. Hey guys, it's Reggie from Family Films Productions again, and today we're going to be talking about Creed 2, the sequel to Creed 1 that just came out like a week ago, and the things that I really liked about it and some of the things that I think could have been improved. And this is kind of a thing that we're going to be doing every little while, every time a new movie comes out that I found something that I really liked about it. We're going to kind of do like a mini review about the different things I did and did not like did not like in the movie as a movie, and then as a story. So two of the major things that I really liked about Creed 2 was their execution, so how they handled the story and the characters, and the actual story itself. It was a very, very compelling story. So basically the story goes is Ivan Drago from Rocky IV, who killed Apollo Creed, which sparked the whole plot line for that movie of Rocky having to fight him in Russia, comes back to America with his son to challenge Adonis Creed, which is the main character in Creed 1 and now Creed 2. And then he has to go through all sorts of emotional changes, as bringing back painful memories about his dad, and then his girlfriend, now going to be his wife, is pregnant and they're going to have a baby, and Rocky is refusing to train him for his upcoming fight, and then he gets injured, and then like everything that's a problem kind of comes together at this one point, and he has to deal with it all at once while being seriously physically injured as well. And then he rises back up through his strength to go fight Victor Drago again in Russia, and he ends up winning. A lot of the movie is based around how a lot of people blame Rocky for Apollo's death, and everyone's traumatization and the effects that fight had on all the characters that are in the movie. And they had a lot of really great actors like Sylvester Stallone, and of course Michael B. Jordan, who is definitely up and coming. He was in Black Panther and the Fantastic Four movie, which wasn't very good at all, but still, they all portrayed their characters and the emotions that their characters were feeling in such a natural, flowing way that it fit together really, really well with the plot of the movie. And that brings us into execution, where they had a lot of really good shots in the movie, like when Ivan Drago wakes up Victor Drago in their like crummy apartment in Ukraine, and they go like jog, and they're chasing him with the car so that he runs faster, just like in Rocky. So it kind of plays with the audience's emotions, so you're kind of rooting for Creed, but it's a lot easier to root for Victor because his family was wrecked after what happened to Drago in Rocky IV, and all the emotional pain he's experienced, and he's in poverty, and all these things come together to create like an underdog, which in the viewer's mind is usually the hero. So we naturally root for the underdog, but he is the bad guy, so it confuses us. And Creed is doing so well, and his family is going good, and he's rich, and he just won the world championship, heavyweight championship, and then it kind of all comes together into this fight, and we end up rooting for Victor, and he wins. And then we get to see Victor's rise to fame as Creed falls, and then he builds him back up in the second half of the movie as the underdog once again, so we can root for him. And this all comes together with the great camera work, and especially the soundtrack. The soundtrack for this movie was amazing. I can't name any songs right now off the top of my head, but they matched with the story and fit so well. And it was just an amazing addition to the already amazing series of Rocky and now Creed. And I can't wait to see what they come up with for Creed 3, which hopefully they do come up with a Creed 3. because I know me, as long as a bunch of other fans, are definitely wanting to see more of his story. And then on the whole, it's a boxing movie, and a lot of the hits, just like in Rocky and Creed, are real, and it really shows Michael B. Jordan and the guy who played Victor Drago. I'll put up him right now because I can't remember his name. How much commitment they put into this movie and how realistic that they made it, because a lot like these guys are throwing crazy punches, and just to come into work every day to get punched in the face by this massive dude, it takes a lot of commitment. And even like the smaller characters like Rocky in the movie with Sylvester Stallone, like he doesn't have much of a character arc anymore like in Creed 1 where he had cancer, but his character is just as important, because the emotional drain that it puts on Creed when Rocky refuses to train him for the fight is devastating to his character, and then he has to basically come crawling back to Rocky and move from hatred to acceptance with his relationship with Rocky, and it brings together these characters as a family, which is a major theme in the movie, is family and community and staying together with the people who mean the most to you. And that is, those are the things that they kind of wanted to stress in that movie, and they definitely did it very well, especially at the end when Adonis Creed brings his girlfriend, now wife, and their just recently born daughter who is deaf, just like their mom, which was another huge blow to him, and a really emotional, moving scene when they're in the hospital and they're testing the baby for deafness, and then the mother is holding the baby, but she doesn't see the readings, but Creed can, and he starts like crying, and then she just weeps while holding the baby because they know that she's deaf and that's going to cause struggles for her in life. They eventually compose themselves and realize that they're both strong people, and that them as a family with the child, that child is going to be a strong person and they can handle it. And then they go visit the grave of Apollo Creed, and that's kind of how the movie cuts out. And then with Rocky going to visit his son and his grandson who he hasn't seen in like a couple of years, and it's just the reuniting and strengthening of the family bond. And he does that after he goes to Adrian and Paulie's grave, and he talks to them. So this movie was just really, really good in all aspects. Pretty much the only thing I didn't like about it is just me being stupid, because at the end, like Ivan Drago gets too sympathetic for his son, and he throws in the towel at the end of the fight, and that's how Adonis wins. And I like to see him get knocked out in the end with like one big hit, and he gets knocked. That's how I like them to end. But other than that, I love everything about the movie. So I really hope that you guys go watch this movie and support the creators of the movie, and just them in their own industry. And that's pretty much it for now, guys.